Yeah, just listen to this and tell me if this makes any sense. I'm back on this video, and it's not like I said, let me come home and beat up on Bishop Nathaniel again. I was going through certain videos, and I happened to come back on this one because I didn't watch the whole video. But anyway, I did a video, then other men, elders, apostles, whatever, brothers out there did videos pretty much, you know, I don't know if they followed my lead or they saw my video. I know I believe Apostle Gabar kind of did a response to the video that I did, and then Apostle Ryan Blavin and certain others. Then you got other brothers that do responses to other videos dealing around this subject. So I'm listening now. We covered Revelation 13, 16, and 17, right? But what I want you to do is, I'm not going to play it. You're going to start from here, 1 hour, 30 minutes in. Well, it says 1 hour, 30 minutes and 40 seconds. We started 1 hour and 30. Like I said, I didn't read the whole thing, but I want you to listen. I guess I stopped right about here. As a matter of fact, I'm at 1:30:40. So let me come over here. So he's giving you examples of not buying and selling. He had showed an interview with this guy Andrew Tate. He's a kickboxer, and they basically cut him off. They cut off his YouTube, his whatever accounts he had, Twitter. They cut his bank account, and that's a big. And then this is where I stopped it. Now remember with Kanye, after he made the remarks concerning the small hats, pretty much somebody behind the scenes, whether it be the ADL or somebody, because they have they got the top lawyers and stuff. You know, they run the world. They made a call to cut this, cut that. He went from, what was it, 11 billion or whatever, I believe it was 11 billion, correct me if I'm wrong, to a couple million. They totally just, to show you that this system that you have, that you in, not a real system. And that money that you put in the bank that becomes digital is not real money, and it can just disappear. All they got to do is hit one button, or just one button I push. Inside joke. If you know what I just said, if you good. What movie I got that from? Just one button I push. But anyway, so he went into examples of not being able to buy and sell. And then the last thing the bishop said was when they went to, I believe, Nigeria, and for some reason they had, I guess they try to use, when you go to another country, you use your card, you got a debit card in America, but if you go to another country, you use the ATM, there's like a little charge and you get X amount of money. And he didn't go into it. I didn't listen to the whole thing, but he said that there was a bunch of them that went to Nigeria, or one of them places in Africa. I believe he said Nigeria. He said that they cut everything, that he couldn't get money, and they couldn't get money anywhere. And he said that I guess the brothers and sisters, or the leadership of I believe it was either London, England, or England, somewhere in England, because they have schools out there. And I believe he said Amsterdam, that they had to kind of, send them money, wire them money, because they cut everything. All the more reason why you don't have to go to these states. The web does a heavy work for us. There's all kind of people. Look, you know how many Israelites out there in different countries that we have a GMS Italy, we have a GMS Germany, we have a GMS, a couple of camps in England, GMS. And we never went out there. We had some of them brothers coming, like a couple of brothers came out a couple of times from England. They came all the way out from England, and they'd be with us for like the weekend or maybe 4 or 5 days. And one brother came, I believe, by himself. one of the original brothers, and he stayed out, I think, for about a week and a half. And he wanted to stay in New York, and we said, "Nah, brother, you got to work on that side." But so we never went to any of these camps. They just formed through the Spirit, through this vehicle called a web, mainly YouTube, right? So there's a lot of people. If I go to, oh, that's Tahar. Oh, that's Elder Tahar, Apostle Tahar. That's how famous we are. You don't have. It tells you that in Matthew chapter 10, and that's a great chapter. There's a lot of information in Matthew chapter 10, the whole chapter, because the Lord lays it down, who to go to, who not to go to, what you're going to encounter. They gave me hell, they're going to give you hell too. But one thing he says, you will not go over all the cities until I come. I'm paraphrasing, meaning you're going to go to different places to teach Israelites, but there's no way you're going to go to every place where Israelites are. That's why he made that statement. So now the same thing applies today. But we pushed this word out far more than Yahushua did, because Yahushua's job was to really wake up the 12, right? The apostles. And their job was to speak to the, mainly in like Jerusalem, those areas in the land. And then Paul went out a little bit further. He went out into Asia Minor, because you had Israelites all up there. That's what the whole Gentile thing was all about. Israelites that didn't know that they were Israelites. And then in Acts 1, it was said unto them, you're going to preach in Jerusalem and to the uttermost part of the earth. What does that mean? The uttermost part of the earth is the utmost part of the earth you can go to, which is what? The West. What do you got in the West? The utmost part of the West, you got Canada, you got the United States, you got Central America, and you got South America. That's the West. What's the tribe? What is that? Is that Naphtali? Possess ye the South and the West. I'm not gonna go to it. Somebody help me out. I'm not gonna look for it. But that's in when you go to Genesis 49 and Deuteronomy 33, it mentions that. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me try to go to that, and I'll get right back. Let me go to Genesis. So, like I said, Bishop Nate is using these examples of how they can cut your money off, because the subject that he's talking about, that he's going into, is how you can't buy or sell. So he's using actual, use the example with Wendy Williams, Kanye West, Andrew Tate, which he's a kickboxer, and those are the only three I think he mentioned. Well, he did mention. I didn't watch the rest of the video. So all those people, Kanye, Wendy Williams, and Andrew Tate, I believe he's from out of England. And somebody said that his father's a Jake, but his mother's an Edomite. So he looks kind of like Arabish, or like one of the Latin tribes, but he's supposed to be Jake. Anyway, they cut off everything from him. They did the same thing with Wendy Williams, one of her handlers. And then you know what they did to Kanye West, right? So Bishop Nate is talking about that around the subject of you can't buy or sell. So now he's saying that you can't buy you can't buy or sell because you can't get access to your bank account. So what does that mean? Did those three say we're not going to take it? Did they have a meeting? Look, Wendy, you got to take this chip. You got to take the charagma. He says, no, I'm not taking it, because I know what it says in Revelation 13. No. Did they say, Kanye, we'll make everything disappear. You get your $11 billion, and plus we'll throw another $10 billion in there. All you got to do is take this charagma. Nah, man, I ain't taking it. Fuck y'all. I'm in Def Con 1 now. Then Andrew Tate, they pulled him to the side. That's just 3 people. They pulled him to the side. Now, so he said, I'm not taking it. I know what that's all about. I watch GMS. I know what that's all about. I'm not taking it. So they just haven't got to us yet. They haven't got to me and to her. If you want to continue to buy, you was in BJ's, you brought something today, or Target or whatever. Now, if you don't take this corrupt, this is the deadline for you, man. The January 1st, Mr. Tahar. if you don't take the C ragamuffin, you won't be able to use. And them credit cards you got in your pocket, or them dollars, that shit ain't gonna work. They're gonna stop you at the door. And if you disguise yourself and you use your cards, we done cut your cards, man. You can't use it no more. Now remember what we did to IUIC, okay? Because they didn't want to take it either. I'm having fun with this. Anyway, let me just go to Genesis 49. So this is what he's saying. So there's only a handful of people. So they're going to go to every person one by one. That means by the time they get to all the people on the planet, which we're talking, what, 8 billion plus people, that's going to take another 1,000 years. So we know that didn't happen. We know they didn't bring Wendy Williams to the side and said, look, this is the charagma. You got to take it in order for you to have access to your money. And like I said, when the IUIC went over to Africa, they pulled him to the side. Can I talk to you, gentlemen? Who are you? Bishop Nate? Nice to meet you. Could you come in this room? Okay, we know that you go back and forth to Africa and around the world. But look, we've been watching you, and it's about that time you take the charagma. Nah, we ain't gonna take it, man. We've been watching GMS, and GMS is right. We ain't gonna take it. So, okay, thank you, Mr. Bishop Nathaniel. So they let them do their thing. Then all of a sudden they go get something. What happened? I can't get no money. You try your card. I can't get no money because you didn't take that thing. So they might as well put him in the story. Well, he used his scenario. Does that mean that they pulled you to the side and say you got to take the charagma? No, they did it because of Kanye talking shit about the small hats, which they control everything. And that's another reason why they got after them, because he said they control everything. And then they got mad because he told the truth, and they cut it. They cut his shit, man. They cut everything. Now, Kyrie, he took it, because guess what? They gave him everything back. They took the Nike deal, but that's all right. They gave him a 5-game turn and an 8-game suspension. So he took it. He folded and he said, "Oh, go ahead, give me it. Give me the charagma so I can continue to buy and sell." So you backed up a guy that took the mark. You didn't go marching around for Wendy Williams. So Nate said all of that to say, see, they could, if you take, but wait a minute, you're saying that is sin. So you're saying Wendy Williams is without sin, Kanye West is without sin, and Andrew Tate is without sin, and you guys are without sin? Because you're still buying and selling. Anyway, let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. If it's not here, it's in Deuteronomy. I haven't gone through this in a while. I'm almost positive. Okay, it's in Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 33. Deuteronomy 33. Okay, did I say Naphtali? I believe I did. And of Naphtali, he said, of Naphtali, satisfied with favor and full with the blessings of Yahweh, possess thou the west and the south. The west is talking about all the way on the western side of the world, which is the Americas, North, Central, and South America. So if you go to the west, that's Canada, the US, Central America, like you got Mexico, and you got them islands, Puerto Rican island, Cuban island, the island called Hispaniola, and then you got South America, which is on the west. But then it says, and the south. So you go all the way down to the south, and that's where Naphtali is today. So all the tribes are here. But anyway, let's get back into this. Let me do this. Okay, let me come back to what I said I was going to go. Let me come back over here. Okay, Revelation 13, 17. He's going to go into Revelation 13 and 18. Matter of fact, let me go read it first. Let me go read it first. Revelation 13 and 16. I'm going to 18. 17. And that no man or woman, Andrew Tate, Kanye West, Wendy Williams, and Bishop Nathaniel and his men, they refused to take it. They were pulled to the side and they said, no, we ain't going to take it. So they went about their business. They said, oh, let's go ahead and do this. And let me go to the ATM. Nothing works because they didn't take it. All right. It says, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark. Now we took it according to Bishop Nate's logic. We took it because guess what? I can get it right now and I can go to the store and I can buy something. I can go on this web and I can order something off the web. I can get up and go to a corner store or whatever. I can go to a big box store and I can either use a credit card, a debit card, my bank card. I can use cash because I took it. And according to him, that's sin. That means I'm still into sin. So Wendy Williams is not, she's not sinning. Kanye's not sinning. Andrew Tate or Andre Tate, whatever his name is, the kickboxer, he's not sinning. He didn't take it. It says, and that no man may buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number or the number of his name. Now listen to Bishop Nate when he says beast. He doesn't break down who beast is. I believe he knows. He broke it down the right way one time, but he doesn't expound upon the beast. He says it's man. It said, here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. We all know what the beast represent, right? For it is the number of a man, and his number is 636. Now watch how Bishop Nathaniel breaks this thing down. And you're going to do a backflip. You're going to say, what? And if you're Spanish, you're going to say, ¿qué? Let me read again. So he's making this stuff up as he goes along. Here is wisdom, meaning you got to have a brain, a working brain, not a malfunctioning brain. Let him that have understanding, that, what does understanding mean? To know something. When you pull out any prophetic scripture, we break it down like it's nothing. What does Daniel 7? No, this means this, that means that. And even the scholars, as Christian scholars, Edomites know about it. Go to their page and they'll tell you the same thing. So we know that, right? So we have the wisdom and the understanding. Bishop Nathaniel should have sat down and went through this because he was making it up as he went along. He ventured past the 16th verse. He said, let me delve into the 17 and the 18th verse, which he never did before. And he fucked up. Read again, and I'm going to let you hear what he says, and I'm going to close it. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast. Watch what he say, who the beast is. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 636, which means 666. And listen to how he breaks this down. Okay. And nobody's there stopping him, man. If any of you, can you imagine Yashawamba being down with these guys? You know, Yashawamba get mad at us. I'm not with you, GMS. Fuck you guys. I'm down with the IUIC. Do you know they would kick Yashawamba out? They beat him down and kick him out the school, man. And no, they wouldn't even let me in the door, number one. Could you imagine any brother? I'm talking about brothers that are rooted in this thing, from the apostles to the bishops to the elders to the up and coming elders to the young brothers to the teachers to the evangelists. He just came. Can you imagine? Could you imagine a Kazakh, formerly of the Chi-Town GMS. Now he's in Mississippi. Can you imagine him? They will kick him. They call the cops on him. He said, look, little nigga, get out the fucking school. Can you imagine that? Because he'll lose it on him, man. And the list goes long. I just mentioned their names. But just imagine yourself being in there, because you're not going to sit there idly by and just listen to this bullshit. You're going to say something, man. And this is why this man does what he does, because ain't nobody checking him, man. The scriptures say a child left to himself shall become willful. I hope I quoted exactly, but I quoted damn near exactly. That's in the Apocryphy. The Apocryphy. That's how Mo used to say, give me the Apocryphy. So if I was in there, they would, first of all, they wouldn't let me in the door. They wouldn't let Apostle Gabar in the door. They wouldn't let Apostle Ricard. I spoke to him a couple hours ago because he's coming out to New York for a while. He's coming out this weekend. Can you imagine? And that's what happened in the main school when we got kicked out, because we were raising hell with them. And they said, just get these guys out. Get them. Don't even pray with them. You know? That's what Rahab said. And Rahab's probably dead. Or in a padded room with a damn straitjacket on. All right? So I'm gonna let this play. And if you're standing up, sit down. If you're sitting down, stand up. Hold on to something, because you might take your boots off. Because when you hear this thing, I'm building this up like High Priest Yeshaya. Because when you hear this mess, you might kick the damn screen in. So let's listen. Let's listen.
Cut you off from by yourself. That is a way to force you and me to what? To worship. That's a technique. What they will do, we say, Harry, cut them off from by yourself. Don't do so, you know. Just like if you don't do what America says, and they cut that nation off by yourself, that's the way to break you, to make you obey what they want you to do. Everybody with me so far? Okay.
Verse 17. and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
Count the number of the man. 'Cause beast is man. Remember that. Beast is man. Count the number of.
So next time, you brothers, all you brothers, when you're out there, you elders, you apostles, you captains, you generals, you soldiers, that's an inside joke. Anyway, next time you out there in the street and somebody asks you to break, well, I got a question. I got a question. What does this mean, the beast, in Revelation 13 or Revelation 17? All you got to do, it just means man. It just means man. Okay, okay, brother. Next question. But what does the heart? It means man. All right. You're gonna have to walk down the street. I told you what it means. In that Arias. Look, I told you what it means, man. Let me bring that back. And he knows what it means because he done broke it down the right way before. So why did he just say that the beast is talking about man? Talking about man. Let's listen. Let's listen again.
That hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man.
Count the number of the man. 'Cause beast is man. Remember that. Beast is man. Count the number of the man.
So from now on, you break. Anybody inquire about what's the beast in Revelation 13 and the horns and the crowns and the beasts and the woman that the man. It's talking about man. So who's the woman? It's just some chick on a man's back. That's how you break it down.
For it is the number of a man. Still talking about the same thing. Go ahead. And his number?
And his number is 666.
And we've gone over this in other classes. The 6 seals, 6 trump, and 6 5. So now,
did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? I'm gonna let you hear that again. And nobody, and you got guys that are teachers that are sitting on his side. Ain't nobody saying, well, wait a minute, bro. Ain't nobody even whispering in his ear saying, look, ain't you breaking this thing down wrong? That showed you, man. That's why he does what he does, because whatever he says, that's the word of God. We call it the gospel according to Bishop Nathaniel. So let's hear that again, because I ain't putting words in this man's mouth.
666.
Right? And his number?
And his number,
But it is the number of a man. And remember that. Beast is man. Count the number
of a man.
Count the number of the man.
The number of the beast. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man.
Count the number of the man. 'Cause beast is man. Remember that. Beast is man. Count the number of the man.
So instead of going all around the world and NATO and the EU and America and Canada coming together and the Club of Rome, they got together to form the EU, and that shows you that no, just say man. Just say man. That's a shortcut. That's called, I'm gonna do a series called Shortcut Breakdowns. How you break down something with one word. Could you, Tahar, Elder Tahar, Apostle Tahar, could you please show me what it means by beast? In the book of Revelation 13, it means man. What do you mean by that? That's what I mean. It means man. You know what a man is? You a man. You might be the beast.
Man, for it is the number of a man. Still talking about the same.
Just because you said, because it's the number of a man, doesn't make it so. If you add some spice to it, doesn't make it so.
Same thing. Right? And his number?
And his number is 666.
Whose number? The beast. The beast. What you're calling to him is a man, which is the Antichrist. I guess he got something. Let's bring it back. One more.
This man, count the number of the man, for it is the number of a man. Still talking about the same thing. Right? And his number?
And his number is 666.
Whose number? The beast number, which is a man, right? So this is how he breaks it down.
And we've gone over this in other classes. The sixth seal, sixth trump, and the sixth vial. So now watch this. Give me the video on Wendy Williams, please.
So you heard it, right? The 666 represents the sixth seal, the sixth trump, and the sixth vial. What? Anyway, let me close on to the next one, Shalom.